having a permanent family can bring love, support, and a sense of belonging.
But for older kids in care who have already been through a lot, joining a family can be challenging too, and there's no training to prepare you for that.
As 7 young people who've gone through it, we got together to talk about what older kids in care need to know. Here's our advice.
When plans are being made for your future, ask questions and say what you want.
It would have been good to explain first what adoption was and second that there's different types of adoptions.
How did they decide what family makeup was right for me? They pretty much just asked me like one question after the other about what I was looking for in a family, whether like I wanted a cultural match or any pets or religion, single parent. I wanted a place closer to my brother just because I was looking for openness anyways.
I would always just say to use your own voice. And that goes in every sense of the manner. If someone's not treating you right, use your voice and tell them it's not right. That's my main point. I wish adopted kids specifically, they'd stand up for what they think isn't right.
Your workers may assume you know exactly what a term like adoption means, but as a foster kid, you might not know the difference between closed and open adoption or what all your options are. It's so important to speak up and ask questions. It's your future.
Be prepared to sometimes feel insecure in your new family.
It took me a very, very long time to trust the family I'm with now. I definitely wish they understood how hard of a transition it was for me because I had already lost so many people.
I always wanted to know what was going to happen next. Sometimes so much that, I would overthink everything and I wasn't able to live in the moment. Making those happy memories was harder. You're constantly in that kind of state of mind.
When you've moved a lot and lost people before, it can feel hard to trust that anything is permanent. But it's okay to let your guard down just a little. Try to let your family meet you halfway.
Try to share what you're going through and what might help you.
I guess I wish my adopted family understood the guilt I felt of being there. I felt guilty for finding my forever home and being happy. I wish they understand why I kind of acted out or why I just was kind of disconnected from the family after having a visit with my siblings.
My first year here was a very isolating year because I moved to this new city where I basically left my friends and family in my hometown, and I came here where I knew basically no one, and I didn't realize it would be like that.
Kids, especially adopted youth, need a lot of structure. I feel like that's something that maybe isn't emphasized enough. It not only helps the kids, but it also helps the parents because the more structure you have, the more stability you have. When I first entered, I wish that, my adopted parents knew how much I needed structure.
The more you communicate, the better your new family can understand and support you. If it's hard to talk, writing texts or letters might be easier.
Once you start feeling settled, big emotions might come out.
Once I came into stability, I was like, oh, okay, this is a place where, I'm comfortable enough to reveal all my emotions. And I guess it just all came at once. Having that reassurance that it's okay to talk about this or to feel this way without thinking that I'll be kicked out if I do this.
So within the first year, I kind of stayed in the background because I'm thinking in my head, oh, my siblings need to speak out. Oh, they need to speak out right now. There was this one point in my life where it all kind of changed, and it was the first time after a year. I had yelled at my adoptive family. I just had it at some point and it broke. So then I started yelling, and I just remember the look on their face and stuff because they were smiling. Just in that safe space, it got a lot easier to deal with the loss and the trauma.
I went through really intense anger management so that I could understand how you were actually supposed to act.
If you've been in survival mode, grief and anger about past hurts can surface once you're feeling more settled. You might need help handling intense feelings and letting things out in healthy ways.
Your family will try to help you feel like you belong.
Before I had moved in, they had asked me what I wanted my room to look like and just would do small stuff like that to kind of get me more comfortable.
When I first started going to their holiday events, I felt a little weird and kind of like the black sheep of the family. But they always they always checked in on me, make sure I was good, make sure I didn't feel left out.
My mom always asked me what I like to do and what my goals in life were, and we always like shared that. It also just allowed us to build like a bond.
In the beginning, everything is new, and it can be a lot at once with new people in a new home and new neighborhood, and maybe also going to a new school. But it's your family's job to help you through that.
There are things you can do to help yourself.
Embarrassingly enough, I actually turned to the internet a lot for these emotions. I literally looked up self-help rules and how to take care of yourself and things you can do to not wear yourself down.
Having mental health support, be it like a counselor or like a psychologist or a psychiatrist, a solid support network while you're going through everything is so important.
For me, it was all the youth networks, and like anytime I was meeting with other adopted youth and I got to tell them my story, people that actually understood and listened, actually being connected with other youth made me a lot more confident in telling my story.
It's important to do things for yourself as you're adapting, like connecting with other adopted youth or getting a counselor. The more you feel supported, the easier it is to settle in and attach to your new family.